Hands pull you from the thin mattress and toss you against the cell wall. You feel the rush of panic. You swing your fists wild. A baton comes down and the darkness around you explodes in bright stars. For a long time, those stars are all you can see. Then, with a bolt of pain, awareness overtakes you, and just as a piss-yellow light stings your eyes. Your hands and feet are tied tight to the metal chair you're in. The binds bite into the skin of your wrists, elbows, knees, ankles. You scream, but no one comes. Your arms and legs are awash in a burning sensation, a mass death of your nerves. You scream louder, but no one comes. A cold replaces the fire in your limbs. It is deep, as if your bones have turned to ice. You can no longer flex and thrash, just breathing's a struggle. Still in your raw throat, you find enough voice to scream again. Why? How many times have you asked that? How many days has it been? Finally, a reply from the door. Caught you whispering in the hall. In the end, you lost your right hand from constriction, and what was left of your mind was barely fit to be called a mind at all. You were one in a long line of poor souls to sit in Eastern State Penitentiary's mad chair. Eastern State Penitentiary first opened its doors in 1829 on a cold October 25th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was the first American prison designed to make an inmate penitent. Before Eastern State began to house prisoners, other prisons were set up in a more communal fashion. They were more like violent and bloody work camps with dingy rooms and cages crammed together. They were made to hold, separate, not fix. John Havlin, Eastern State's designer, aimed to fix. Eastern State was designed like a flower in bloom. At the center was the main guard area, which acted as the hub for moving inmates to and from. The cell block extended out from there with petals. The guards enforced a strict code of silence. They even wore boot coverings to mask their footsteps. Prisoners were escorted, chained, with cloth bags over their heads, so they didn't know anything but their own cells, inside of which was the barest of essentials and one lone window to the outside world. The window earned the nickname the Eye of God. For many, it was their only source of light. Any rule breaker was dealt with swift and painful. One inmate had a type of clamp attached to his tongue, so that when he tried to open his mouth to speak, it would tear and rip. This cruel environment did yield results, fewer reoffenders. Soon, though, it became less about quality and more about quantity. And quality had been in short supply to begin with. Those cells, which had been designed to house only one inmate, swelled to hold 3 or sometimes 4. New wings were added, but they did little to slow the growing horror of that place. Riots, murders, and horrific assaults. Eastern State had become a place of survival instead of redemption. Eventually, enough blood soaked the stone that the place was closed in 1970. Now it stands as a decaying relic, good for guided tours for those interested in history or with a taste for the paranormal. Eastern State is considered to be one of the most haunted locations in America. Today, a company runs a special Halloween event that caters to the public and allows private tours for ghost hunters or other groups. One of the most infamous residents, the mobster Al Capone, was said to have seen a ghost of a young man who died in the Valentine's Day massacre. This could also have been a hallucination brought on by late-stage syphilis. While the whole complex is said to have a paranormal force, Cell Block 12 has the highest reports of encounters. These range from electronic voice phenomena, EVP, to full-body apparitions moving in and out of cell doors. What could be responsible for these sightings? To cause these echoes to the past to play out over and over again? Tucked away in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California sits the abandoned mining town of Bodie. Nothing more than a handful of decaying buildings maintained enough for tourists by the state, the town still retains a hint of its former glory during the gold rush. While what relics of that more opulent past remain are interesting, their preservation is not what sets Bodie apart from other ghost towns. The very dirt of Bodie is said to be cursed. Letters arrive every week at the local Park Services office. Often they contain a rock or a rusted nail, maybe some ancient chalk stolen from the pool hall. Always they contain a letter of regret and sorrow. They are from people who have had their lives ruined to various degrees. A young woman wrote in that after she took a flat rock from the graveyard in Bodie, she felt sick. She began to experience the worst headaches of her life. Upon a visit to the doctor, the young woman had developed a brain tumor. A father mailed back a bunch of sticks he had taken after hearing about the curse. He'd been plagued with bad luck ever since. He even went on to blame the curse for his loss of employment. He stressed that the curse was real and apologized for stealing from Bodie. Those letters continue to arrive to this day. Could it be simply a case of bias? Does the fact that people know about the curse make it so that they attribute any negativity in their lives to it? Many among the park services don't believe Bodie is cursed at all. Some state it started as a rumor they made up to try and stop theft when they took over the town in the 1960s. There may be something else at work here, however. The idea of an object taking on a spiritual significance is not unheard of in the paranormal community. In fact, you could draw from that in a broad sense to include residential hauntings as well, like in the case of Eastern State Penitentiary and other haunted locations. Traumatic events are said to etch themselves into the place where they occurred. The more tragic, the more violent, the better the chance to leave an impression. This has become known as the stone tape theory. The name has garnered controversy as many of more narrow-minded interpretations fold under scrutiny. A broader look at the idea that certain types of material, such as stone, could absorb currently unknown mental energy in the form of a repeatable memory may provide an answer to the question of ghosts. A lost African tribe, possibly the cities, but nothing comes back with certainty, was said to utilize a stone artifact to record entire moments in time. Conversations, weddings, and even battles recorded in a rock no bigger than the palm of your hand, to be played back by unknown means, sometimes decades later. Another example of stone tape theory, again in a broad respect, would be the strange sounds some miners report hearing. These ethereal sounds range from picks hitting stone to distant conversations, all leading down deeper into the mind or originating from areas not in use. Often these events would follow a tragedy or some accident. Quartz has been shown to store massive amounts of information. Due to its stable chemical structure, in testing, it can hold hundreds of terabytes of data. It is projected to be able to store this information for thousands of years. Could quartz possess a currently unknown way to take in this psychic or spiritual energy? If so, would that mean areas or structures with enough quartz act as blank tapes, this energy to project onto? The problem is that even the basics of this question are outside our understanding. It is like being asked to bake a cake when we have no idea of fire. We don't have a way to even see the very start of the answer, no means of measuring the spirit or recording the mind. For now, that shadow that passed by the doorway, that whispered voice took it out, remains a mystery. Hey, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed my work and want to show some support, I deeply appreciate it. My books can be found on Amazon. I do have a Patreon as well as a Ko-Fi at Ari Brewster. You can find me in all the usual places. Links below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm out.
I'm so broke. Yeah, I'm so broke. This dollar won't last. I'm in dire need of cash 'cause I'm so broke. I'm so broke. Yeah, I'm so broke. No food to eat. I'll sell pictures of my feet 'cause I'm so broke.